Don't you just love when like you record a whole talking head video and then you go back and the angle is shit and the audio is okay and the facial expressions are awful? Fuck. So if you notice, the frame looks better, you know. We got some stuff in post that helps. It's not as saturated. I didn't try to alter skin tones using DaVinci. I'm just doing straight with the Lumetri. A little less contrast, which is fine because we're not going for anything dramatic or cinematic. I'm right in the center of the screen. There's hopefully less weird artifacting at least. There were some different topics that I thought I could talk about. Like, for instance, there's that blue light in the background, and that is actually a Litra Pro. Really powerful, pretty interesting, but the thing is I can't really make a very decent video on it because most people just want to know about the aperture lights. I can't tell you anything about the aperture lights because, well, I don't have them. I only have this thing. I have this thing. So all I could really say in a video about it is it's cool. It got temperature control. It is really, really powerful. It's waterproof, but also because of the battery in it, because of how powerful the battery is, if you run it at 100% for like 10-15 minutes, it burns. It's not very hot right now because I haven't had it running for that long, but it's hot. Like, it hurts to touch, and that's part of the reason I have it on this mini tripod. We'll put this back. Let me put this back. Now, the other thing that I thought I could talk about was I just finished a personal project about a week ago, but it was a personal project. It was made for family, and so the people in the video don't really want to be on the internet, so I don't have it publicly uploaded anywhere. So I was thinking maybe I could do like an analysis of some of the creative process that I went through, but it wouldn't really make sense. It wouldn't be a very interesting video if you just get like snippets of the video where you only see the back of someone's head. I mean, it's kind of boring. So I decided I'm gonna make a video on making this video right now. It doesn't look nearly as bad as the talking head stuff that I did for the gimbal night run. I tried to change my skin tone to make it more accurate, and then it ended up just turning my skin yellow. And that's wrong. Like, I'm not gonna make a race joke, but I'm not actually yellow. By the way, I'm not actually yellow. And also I don't have weird square artifacting pixelization all over my neck and my chin and the background of my walls that isn't supposed to be there. So yeah, something went weird somewhere. I spent a decent amount of time like correcting stuff, but when it exported and when it got to YouTube, it fucked itself. I'd say arguably this is better, you know. I'm further back in the frame. The shadows are a little bit more even, a little less contrast. The background's a little more open. You can see both of my speaker monitors instead of just the that one, the right one. And you can also see all the screens connected to my Mac setup, and they're just showing space. So let me tell you what has changed. First off, the camera is further back, not by much because there's not much space. The camera is basically backed up right to the drum kit. Second thing is I'm pushed back the other direction. The reason I tried to stay as close as possible without just completely filling up the frame before was because I wanted that shallow depth of field from the lens, but I think having better framing takes higher priority than depth of field. Really big thing. The light has been lowered about 2 feet. Everything's more evenly exposed. It's pretty level with me. The center of the light's probably about 6 inches higher than my eye line. We also got a reflector on the other side now. I always had this reflector because I have a 5-in-1, so I was using the diffuser over top the light. I just didn't have the reflector anywhere sitting on the ground. Now I have it draped over my instrument rack and it's just sitting right here. The next thing is that blue light. It has switched sides. Before it was over there, but now you don't see as much of that wall. You see a lot more of this wall. And well, we need something to cover up the underexposure of that wall, so we'll flood it with blue. So let's try to simulate what we had before. Pull everything back to what it looked like in the last video. Let's do that in 3, 2, 1, and pull. So here's the first 2 changes. Basically, we brought the camera in and we brought me closer. You can see a little more shallow back there, just a bit. Let's strip down the lights now. Okay, so the reflector is gone. There's nothing here. The light is now back up about 2 feet. You can see it reflecting in the TV, and it also is pointed way down on me. There's a lot of contrast. I'm using a flat profile, Cinestyle, because I don't actually have a log profile on this camera. If we pull all the color grading back, this is what it looks like in the camera right now. It's still pretty contrasty, especially for a flat profile, and this is why all those shadows were there. Now, of course, it wasn't quite this bad because I had a diffuser on it. I took it off because I can't move this mic stand any further up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Do you mind if I come around like the other side, like on the other side of the camera? Yeah. Just a second. Okay, so we have switched into the camera. We're in auto ISO because I don't want to deal with the exposure in the room. Light in here is not consistent at all. Anyways, that's my tripod right there. And here's the light right up there. And there's my diffuser. And you can see I actually have this mic stand in front of the light. That is where I put my diffuser. You see how there's the strap on here? I actually just thread this onto the stand. And that's how I put my diffuser. Yeah, and then this is usually lowered way down. I don't usually use batteries, it's just that I don't want to readjust where I have the power thingy. When the light was up here, it was actually up there because I was mounting the diffuser to the ceiling using tape. So I MacGyvered the fuck out of it, and it was way too high because it caused the light to have to be there in order to be in the center of this diffuser. And so it brought us to this effect where, oh, screen's upside down, where I'm here like this, and the light is shining way down on me. Let's move that light back. So yeah, it's usually more like this, you know, almost completely straight up, just pointing a tiny bit down. That way we get our line right here to the chair. And it should basically be hitting right on the head right there. And that is that change. And then let's move the other light back. Actually, let's see what this looks like right now. Okay, so there's a pretty major change right there, you know? The light is much more direct. We still have quite a bit of shadows over here, not quite as much. There is another reason for these shadows, the angle of the camera, and so I guess we can push it back now, and let's see what a difference that makes. We'll push that back to that position, and I will move back into my position. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm not sure if this is exactly where it's supposed to be, but it seems pretty close. Let's readjust that mic. Whoop. Okay, so I can see the mic. Something changed. I forgot to change the tilt on the camera. That's what that was. Okay, so you see, decent difference here. Looks a little better, but once again, that blue over there, there's not that much of it. There's a lot of white space over here, so let's move that light over there. Okay, a little better. The last part is this reflector. Comparing to the last talking head setup, I think the light positioning was absolutely the biggest mistake, and then the camera positioning, and then not having proper shadow fill. So let's fill that back in, soften the shadows with light, and there we go. So it's probably pretty subtle, but it is pretty significant at the same time. This allows me to still have a little bit of contrast, not too much contrast. It's a flat picture profile. The recording just stopped because I had it on for more than half an hour. That is scary. Anyways, that was this video, you know, just something quick. This is the only day in the last few weeks that I've had both my light and my camera and my zoom here. Most of it's usually sitting at school, because I'm working on some film projects and stuff. Yeah, this is just a quick thing, just so I can be like, I want to upload something. Here's something. And I still need to work on, you know, like staring into a lens and talking expressively. Because when I do like expressive speeches or anything kind of emotive like that, I don't even look at anyone. This is like locking an axis of my movement while also trying to make everything else move, which is strange. It'll just take some practice, hopefully. That was this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Blah.